Welcome to another quick little video as we look at some of the assessments for Education 331. I want to have a quick look at the course syllabus. And we're going to see on the syllabus as we scroll down that we have the section called Teacher Tools. Now I've already made a video for Puzzle Maker and A to Z teachertools.com to make puzzles. I want to look at making online rubrics. Now some of you may be more familiar with rubrics than others. A rubric is an assessment tool. It can be for formative assessment or it can be for summative assessment. In summative assessment you would assign a mark to. Formative assessment would be used for giving feedback to students. Now one of the things about rubrics is they're sometimes a pain to make, and they're sometimes quite tedious if you want to make it in a word processor or if you want to make it in a table. So we're going to look at one tool that helps us to make a rubric. First of all, I want to take a look at a ministry document. This is the Ontario Curriculum, grades 1 to 8 mathematics. And you'll notice here that we already have levels, and this is an achievement chart. In the achievement chart, it has the different categories, and we have level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Generally, it's accepted that a level 4 is an 80 to a 100, level 3 is a 70 to a 79, level 2 is a 60 to a 69, level 1 is a 50 to a 59. Anything less than that would be considered incomplete, and the student should be prompted to do that again because they haven't met the expectation. And some of the language that they use in the different levels demonstrates limited knowledge for level 1. Level 2 demonstrates some knowledge of content. Level 3 demonstrates considerable knowledge of content. And level 4 demonstrates a thorough knowledge. And if we scroll down to some of the other expectations, communicates for different audiences and purpose with limited effectiveness, with some effectiveness, considerable effectiveness, with a high degree of effectiveness. And we start to use that language to make connections within and between various contents with limited effectiveness, some effectiveness, considerable, high degree. We can sometimes take the criteria right from our ministry document, and it's broken up into what I'll call KICA. So we've got knowledge and understanding, thinking, I often call that inquiry, communication, and application. We're going to look at another resource to make our rubrics. We're going to look at a website called Technologycom. I'm going to search Technology. Technology.com is a site that I like to use for making my rubrics. It's a great teacher resource. Many of the resources are free. However, if you have a subscription to it, you'll get lots of resources. I've never ever bought the subscription. I've found what I need is generally available for free. I'm going to go to rubrics, and there are a number of pre-made rubrics that I can look at and that I can get. And if you have a look around here, you'll see lots and lots of rubrics that may be suited for you. Or we can also go down and find the general rubric maker. I'm just going to have a look for the word general. Try to find this. It's number 6. General rubric generator. I click on it. I type in my school name. I type in the title. Maybe it could be a math, fractions. I type in my teacher name. This will just be displayed on it. I can pick a picture. I can choose to not have a picture also. But I would put in my criteria. So here is my expectation. I could type something in. Fractions. I'm just going to say proper placement of numerator and denominator. And I can use the word limited placement. And some correct placement. Often correctly places the, and I'm just going to copy that so it's easier for me to type. And always, or I'm going to use the word most often. I'm not going to go through making the whole rubric, but I have up to 5 objectives or performances that I could have. You can see what I have down here, and I can fill all those in. I'm going to generate the rubric, and there I have the rubric for me. So it has my criteria, it has the different levels that I have, and over here I've got a spot for comments, and I've also got a spot for doing point values. So over on the side, if this was only going to be worth a part of the assignment, we can do that. But again, with professional judgment and with assessment, and the ministry document entitled Growing Success is excellent, as it talks about the idea of how can we assess students and how do we fairly assess students, and really empowers us to use our professional judgment to look at the criteria and then come up with the mark. So that's a quick look at Teachnology, and if I wanted to make a change, I could always go back to it. Now I can't save these rubrics, but I could copy and paste it to a Word document, and then it'll also copy the table, and I can do some editing there. But if we look over here with more rubrics, language arts rubrics, we have lots and lots of rubrics here. Social studies, I can get a map rubric maker, and again it will kind of go through that, and here's a quick little map rubric. So completeness, accuracy, neatness, and really saves you a lot of time from having to generate your own rubrics. You can always go in here, copy and paste it, do some edits, and then you have your rubric. We're going to take another look, or a look at another rubric generator called Rubistar. Another excellent tool for creating rubrics is Rubistar. And Rubistar, if you just type it into your search or into the address bar, will take us to Rubistar Home. And again, you can sign up, and actually you need to have an account for this one. Accounts are free, but let me sign in and I can show you what it looks like. If you are a non-US citizen or resident, you simply type in 59s as your zip code, and we can log in. And the nice thing about Rubistar is it has a lot of templates and a lot of kind of skeletons of rubrics for you. For example, if one of my products was making a map, I can click on this one. It's going to ask me to go down here. I can choose my categories. Maybe I want neatness and color in lines. I can go in here. It's already got things in here for me for my different levels. It's already got the kind of the criteria or the different things that they have to do. And perhaps shading is another one. One of the things that I often find happens when I create rubrics is I try to put in too many criteria and I try to put in too many things. But again, I can type in my own things here, or I can choose my own category heading, or I can use the ones that they have. I'll do one more here. I'll make sure it has a title. And those are the ones that I want to use. I can go down here. I can submit it. It's telling me I didn't put a name on my project, so I will go back up here and call it Map Rubric. And let's go back down the bottom. We'll submit that. And there's my rubric. It's quite easy. I can print it, I can download it, or I can also make it available online. But you can see that I could even just copy and paste that now, and I've got my rubric. So a quick and easy way to make rubrics. Two free tools that we've looked at. One is Technologycom, and you're looking at the rubric makers there. The other one is Rubistar. So again, two excellent kind of websites and two resources for us to use. For the rubric assignment, what I'd like you to do is use one of these two tools, or if you find another online rubric generator, feel free to use that one. But actually go through the process of making a rubric. Not that you have to be so detailed in the criteria and all the descriptions, but I want you to go through the process of making one. Perhaps think of an assignment you have for another course, or perhaps you have to make a lesson or an assignment and an assessment that goes with it. Remember, rubrics can be both formative and summative in terms of their assessment. And what I mean by formative is a formative assessment is going to help build the student's knowledge and build the student's background on the information and allows them to make revisions, where a summative rubric or summative assessment is one that usually has a final mark tied to it. So those are our things on rubrics, and you can try either one of those out.